Okay, so what if I told you that the phone you're probably holding in your hand right now could be turned into a powerful lab for exploring cybersecurity? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's dive in. For a long time, if you wanted to get into fields like ethical hacking or network security, it felt like you had to have a dedicated, probably expensive computer. It was a real barrier to entry for a lot of people, right? Well, that barrier, it's pretty much gone. And this is why. Meet Termux. This one app completely transforms your Android phone into a full-blown Linux terminal. And what that means is, it gives you direct, text-based control over your phone's operating system. The best part, you don't need to root your phone, which is this whole complicated process, and there's no crazy setup. You literally just install it, and bam, you've got a professional-grade command line sitting in your pocket. So let's really dig into what this means. We're about to totally shift how you think about your phone. It's not just for scrolling social media anymore. It is a fully functional, powerful terminal. And this, right here, is the key idea. The power to learn and practice these really complex technical skills is no longer chained to your desk. You could be on the bus, waiting in line, anywhere. Just pull out your phone and you can start exploring and experimenting. It's a huge leap in making this stuff accessible to everyone. Now, I get it. That black screen with the little blinking cursor can look kind of intimidating. But the best way to think about it is like you're learning a new language. A very precise, very powerful language that gives you direct control over your digital world. So let's learn a few basic words. First up is PWD. This stands for Print Working Directory. If you ever get lost in the file system, you just type PWD, hit enter, and it's like a little GPS saying, you are here. It tells you exactly which folder or directory you're in at that moment. Super useful. Okay, so you know where you are. But what's around you? That's where LS, for list, comes in. Typing LS is like looking around the room you're in. It shows you a complete list of all the files and other folders that are right there in your current spot. And finally, how do you actually move around? Easy. With CD, which stands for Change Directory. You just type CD and then the name of a folder you saw with your LS command, and you'll jump right into it. Oh, and a little pro tip, if you want to go back up one level, just type CD and then 2 dots. Simple as that. All right, so you can find your way around now. That's awesome. But a workshop is pretty useless without any tools. So let's install our first piece of professional equipment into this new mobile app. This is where the real fun begins. Installing software in Termux is actually incredibly easy. First, we just run a quick update command. This makes sure our system's list of all the available software is totally fresh. Then, with one simple command, apt install nmap, we're gonna install our first major tool, nmap. Trust me, it's one of the most famous and powerful network scanning tools on the planet, and you're about to see why. With nmap installed, we are ready for the main event. We're going to use our phone to actually peek behind the curtain of a website and see what's happening. This is where all that theory becomes real practice. So what even is nmap? Well, its full name is Network Mapper. Think of a server, like a website's home, as a giant building with thousands and thousands of doors. In the world of networking, these doors are called ports. Each one has a number, and each one leads to a different service. nmap acts like a digital security guard, walking around the entire building and checking every single door to see if it's open, closed, or locked. And check out how simple the command is. We just type nmap, then we add -v, which just means verbose, so it'll tell us what it's doing while it works, and then we give it a target. Now, for this, we're using a special website that nmap's creators made specifically for people to practice on, so it's all completely safe and legal. And here are the results. nmap spits out this really simple table. Port is just the door number. State tells us if that door is open, and service tells us what program is running on the other side. So right here, we can see port 22 is open, and it's running SSH, that's for secure remote logins, and port 80 is open for HTTP, which is how you get websites. Just like that, with one command from our phone, we have a basic blueprint of that server's public services. Let's just pause for a second and appreciate what just happened here. In just a few minutes, you've taken your phone, a device for calls and texts, and turned it into a serious tool for technical exploration. I mean, really think about what you just did. You set up a Linux environment, you learned its basic language, you installed a professional-grade tool, and then you used it to gather real information from a server on the internet, all from the palm of your hand. That is a huge accomplishment. And honestly, this is just scratching the surface.
Nmap has hundreds of other options, and Termux can run thousands of different tools. You've just opened the door to a much, much larger world. The only question left is, what are you going to go discover now that you have the key? Thanks for joining me.